Hi, I'm Xinyi. I'm a visual artist currently based in Honolulu, Hawaii. I work with traditional mediums, but also new technology and media in my work. I'm actually self-taught, so I started my painting practice about 3 years ago. And prior to that, my formal education is actually in computer science. But I've always loved visual arts since I was a child, and even when I did engineering, my focus was on computer graphics and visual computing. Yeah, so I think I really see my artistic practice as almost a spiritual practice for myself. So I work in a very intuitive and meditative way. And a lot of my work has been kind of about the process of inner transformation, healing, and self empowerment. And much of it is inspired by my personal journey and my personal experiences I'm going through when I'm painting. So I think maybe more recently, a lot of my paintings have been dealing with the topic of feminine energy and feminine power. And this is really kind of inspired by my experience as one of the few women in the heavily male dominated tech industry. I'm also very interested in just the concept of multidimensionality. So for myself, I'm very technical. I have a very heavy technical background, but I'm also, very intuitive and visual. Even my work being both like a very traditional practice, but also different, integrating different layers of technology and expression. So yeah, so for me, it's a lot about expansion too, in terms of another spiritual theme that appears in my artworks. Yeah, so for me, a huge part of my work and inspiration comes from just directly contacting my subconscious. So in that way, I like to work very viscerally with mediums. Um, so for me, I kind of like to get into a meditative state where I start just scribbling. Usually, I've used a lot of charcoal, so it's very easy, and I really feel um, the pressure on the paper. So I really get into my body when I'm start to draw and get ideas, and I kind of just let myself draw and sketch, and different imageries will just appear on the page. And then often what happens is some of the images will really stand out to me, and I'll decide to make that into a larger work. More recently, I'm experimenting with markers and color pencils, also in kind of a meditative, intuitive way. Um, I'm doing that now just because it gives me like an extra dimension of color as I'm channeling. So that is bringing some very interesting energies out, and I'm really enjoying that. And then finally, as I mentioned before, because I have a very deep technical background in computer science and programming, I'm starting to integrate multimedia and different technologies to kind of expand upon the expression of my work. So that includes generative AI, animation, music, all of that, which is really fun and really exciting for me. Yeah. Yeah, so I think this kind of whole concept of healing rituals has emerged from my own process of working with imagery. As I think I mentioned before, like for me, my artistic practice is kind of tied to like a spiritual practice for myself to learn more about myself, to understand the parts of me that I've hidden or repressed. And it's been a very powerful journey for me to create these visual paintings and kind of discover and kind of participate in this kind of healing and reclaiming of my inner parts. And I found that to be just, one of the most important things I've gotten from my artistic practice. So, what I want to do with my project, Healing Garden Objects, is kind of expand um, that almost, I'd say, gift from visual representation to others, so that they can also start to use maybe imagery as a way to interface with themselves and expand their being and expand their consciousness and heal different aspects of themselves. So for me, it's an expansion of my personal practice, and it's just something that I feel is so powerful about working with, imagery that I think a lot of people can benefit from. Yeah.